the new CEO in recent times, Steve Rosich. G'day, Steve.
Good afternoon, Brad and Barra.
So it's good to have you on the show, mate. First time I've spoken to you, I know Brad has, but I think you're doing a fantastic job down there with halves. But we read this story with Kim Hagdorn and we thought, whoa, is he taking on more than he can chew there, or is he just doing a bit of a review? Can you bring us up to date? Do you want to clear the air on the anchor, the colours and the song?
Happy to clear the air. Yes, I was asked as part of the interview for that story by Kim Hagdorn in the Sunday Times to comment on the anchor, and did we have any visions of changing that from either our jumper or our logo. And I certainly said that as part of our strategic plan process next year, we would be re-evaluating our brand values and then looking at those sorts of elements to make sure they reflect our brand values. So no moves to change those things. I think I said also personally very much like our jumper and logos, but look, over time they may be reviewed.
Now, just re-evaluating brand values, we're not the smartest blokes on this show. What exactly does that mean, please, Steve?
Well, just what the club stands for, Barra, and I think I said on my appointment that the key values that I'll be hoping to instill in this interim period prior to us doing that review is professionalism, discipline and leadership. So they're the key aspects that we're using as a reference point in all the decisions we're making at this point in time. And there's certainly an opportunity to review those early in the new year.
So there is a possibility that some of these things will change, the anchor, the colours and the song. There is a possibility.
There is a possibility, but I wouldn't be holding my breath. And certainly if you reflect on the jumper that we wear, which is very unique, we get great feedback on that. It's certainly distinctive and shows off one of our key elements, which is the purple.
I think you hit on the major principle, Steve, that you wanted to, and that's all about discipline and the way the players conduct themselves, the coaching staff, all of those sort of things. That's great. But all the other things are aesthetics, aren't they, really? I mean, the song and the colours and all of that sort of stuff.
They're certainly aesthetics, but they're things that members and supporters, hold dearly to their hearts. And, if we were to reflect on those and look at some changes, then as I said in the article, we would consult with all of our stakeholders, including members, because albeit they are aesthetics, as you said, Brad, they are very important to a football club.
Yeah. What would you make the colours down from 4 colours to 2 or something like that? Is that what you're talking about, or?
Oh, look, and again, that none of that has even been considered. But look, that might be something that you'd look at, as I said, early in the new year. And whatever we were to look at, I would have thought that the purple stays. That's certainly distinctive and certainly synonymous with Fremantle.
So you'd survey the members and get their input as well, would you?
Yes, if we were to go through such a process, then absolutely. But again, I couldn't see any major changes foreshadowed.
Is the anchor very popular? Have you got any view on that?
Only a personal view at this moment, Barra, and certainly I like it. And the way that it comes up in our clash jumper, which is the white, and indeed the purple haze, which is the purple and white, it comes up very strong and distinctive, and the players like it, and certainly members and public seem to like it with the amount of jumpers that we're selling.
You must be happy with the way the brand's perceived, though, in the marketplace, because you're having no problems getting sponsors, members, supporters, merchandise. So it's not a great degree of problem there, is it?
No, in fact, we're very proud of, Brad, of what we've been able to achieve off the field at sort of record levels at sponsorship, corporate partner and membership level. And we're very proud of the way that those partners and members have stuck, and looking forward to them enjoying their association with the club moving forward. What
about your review of your staff, your players, etc.? How close are you to finalising that, or are you still just sort of lying in wait a little bit to see what falls out of the tree at other clubs as they fall out of the finals?
No, we're very proactive, and we were able to begin reviewing a lot of our football operations some time ago, unfortunately due to not being in the finals mix. And one of the key reviews we completed was a sports science and medical operations review. So we're moving into full implementation mode in terms of new structures and seeking new people for those positions. And our immediate and most important activities at the moment are seeking a new sports science manager to head that part of the club, and also 2 new assistant coaches. So they're the key focus at the moment, as well as our list management activities.
There was a rumour, you'll love this, Sauce, there was a rumour on Adelaide radio yesterday that Freo want former Crow player and current North Adelaide coach Andrew Jarman as midfield coach. Can you shed any light on that?
I can say that rumours are obviously prevalent at this time of year. So in terms of the coaches that we're targeting, that's very much the domain of Mark Harvey and Chris Bond. So they'll be coming up with a shortlist, and pretty soon they'll be presenting that shortlist to myself, and we'll look at whom are the most appropriate candidates and go from there.
What about the argument of putting more Fremantle in the Fremantle?
You always look to do that, Brad, and we're proud of our heritage and our name, and you always look for that opportunity. So if it's a line ball decision, we're looking at 2 different people for whatever capacity, whether it's a player, coach, or someone in our personnel, then you'd go with the local person if it's line ball. But I think you stick with the principle of picking the best person for the role.
You only been in the role 5 minutes, but I need to ask you anyway. I asked Harv last week, and he... What about the Waffle clubs? I mean, what about Kepler Bradley playing at West Perth? What about... Thornton not playing at South Fremantle? I mean, you might have seen my article yesterday. I mean, I think you've done a terrific job since you've got there, and I think Mark's done a wonderful job in putting the broom through the place, which it's sorely needed. I think that's a given. But the fact that these blokes, tune up to play AFL football for West Perth or South Fremantle or whoever it may be, and then come the finals time and they're not available.
We'd certainly like them to play Waffle if they're fit and ready to go. The reality is with the 2 guys that you mentioned, they played with us in round 22, but wouldn't have if we weren't down to 23, 24 players ourselves. So,
but if you played in the final, sorry, Steve, for cutting in, but if you played in the finals, they'd have played.
Quite possibly, yes. And that's the difficult decision you make. Probably not Kepler Bradley, where he was at with his groin, as I understand it from our medical people. But Ryan Murphy, you would have held his surgery back both on his finger and on his ankle by a few weeks. But his recovery period from those operations was in excess of our pre-season rest period. So the decision was made that we couldn't compromise that. So unfortunately, he couldn't play with South.
And what about Thornton, mate? General soreness. What does that mean?
Well, he has an injury that was being managed for the last couple of weeks and was getting to critical points. So it was felt that couldn't be managed any longer without compromising his pre-season. We were pleased to be able to get Duffield, Smith and Hinkley out on the grounds on the weekend, and those 3 boys running around in the Waffle finals.
Well, good on you, Steve. You and Harves are doing a great job, but remember, you should remember, just as much as anybody, you never forget where you come from, and the Waffle provide the opportunities for these blokes to play AFL footy, and I think it's a 2-way street.
Absolutely, and a big fan of WAFL football, having played only a few games myself.
Yeah.
And important that we do recognise that heritage, and we're proud of our players performing at the best level in that comp.
Good, West Perth, man. Before you go, I've got one more to ask you. I know where you're at with Warnock. I think he'll probably tell you this week which way he's going to go. But what is going on with David Mundy? What is the delay there, Sauce?
Look, there hasn't been a delay. I've been in regular contact with his management since the start of the year, and it was always felt that David would like to reflect on where he's at after the season, and he's now doing that. The same position for us as with Robbie Warnock, that we're quite comfortable where it sits with management, and we'll keep working through things with the players, and as soon as we can get a result, we'll be letting people know.
Good on you, Steve. Thanks for your time. All the best.
Good evening, gents.